So I'm just getting ready because I'm going on my holidays, going to Lisbon, but I just wanted to make this video before I go because I want to be able to post it when I get back from Lisbon, and it's just a little update on my MS situation. So if you're new here, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in August, yes, in August of this year. So I shall leave a video or the link up here. So I started my treatment and I made a video on that as well. Again, I'll leave it up here if you haven't seen it. But I said at the end of that video that I would do another follow-up video once I went up my higher dose. So I did start my drug on the lower dose, so I did that for a full month, and then I was to move up to my higher dose. So I did that, but I didn't actually make a video, even though I said I would, because what happened was when I went up to the higher dose, which is 240 mg twice a day, I had symptoms on the first day. So I did record the first day. So I had like burning on my chest. It went really red. It actually got really itchy, so then I was scratching it and it got more red and irritated. So I actually thought by going up onto the higher dose I would have to kind of go through all the initial symptoms that I went through when I first started the drug, which those symptoms lasted, I don't know, like 3 or 4 days of like visible symptoms. But when I went up to the higher dose, it was just the 1 day, so there was no point making a whole video on it at that stage because I didn't really have any content, do you know what I mean? So I just said I would make this video. So far the treatment's going well, in the sense that I haven't had another relapse. Now we don't know for sure if the treatment is working because I could just be in remission, do you know, that sort of way. We don't know, are the drugs putting me in remission or is my body just naturally kind of gone into remission. So I'm doing my scans on the 1st of March 2022. Nearly forgot the year there. And I have a new consultant, so she specialises in MS, and I'm delighted with that because I didn't really like my consultant. He just made me feel so uncomfortable, and I literally cried every single time I was around him. He was super insensitive, and yeah, I just didn't get good vibes off him. But I have a new consultant now, and yeah, she specialises in MS, and I actually had an appointment with her, when did I have that? Last week, so last Monday, and she didn't even know that I had started my treatment. I feel like there was a massive miscommunication there. She was just like, oh yeah, this is definitely looking like MS, and I was like, I got my diagnosis in August. So she was like, oh, and then I started talking, she started talking about, there's like a pyramid kind of how they rank the different treatments for MS. And she started talking about them. I was like, oh, I've already started my treatment. And she was like, oh, what drug did you like decide to go on? And then like she started going through, like, so the self-injectables are at the bottom of the triangle, and they only stop a relapse happening 30% each year. And then there's the tablets, which is what I'm on. They stop a relapse happening 50% of the time per year, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm saying this properly, but like a 50% less of a chance of having a relapse each year by being on the tablets. And then there's the infusions, which are at the top of the triangle, which prevent a relapse, like I think it's between 60 and 80 or 60 and 70%, something like that. So obviously at the top of the triangle is the most beneficial for your MS, but it's worse for your immune system. So it's bringing your immune system, if it's at the top, the higher up the triangle it goes, the lower it brings your immune system, which is obviously not good for fighting infection, but it means you have a higher chance of not having a relapse, which I didn't really know about. That definitely wasn't explained to me, so I was kind of a bit, because obviously she was saying when she looked at like all my records and I had spoken about all of my relapses, and she was like, yeah, you have a very active MS, but she's like, you're lucky because you have a low lesion count. So she was like, you're at an advantage and a disadvantage. But she was like, I sometimes recommend we go in hell for leather, go in with the top of the triangle drug, and then we can always reel it back. And I was kind of like, I wish that fucking was explained to me, do you know, that sort of way. Now, to be fair, when I went in for my diagnosis in August, they were like, they gave me the drugs for 2 self-injectables and 2 tablets, and they're like, you can choose, but if you're having any difficulty, that's no problem, we can help you choose. But infusions weren't even offered. Now, I think initially I was kind of like, oh, I don't want to go on infusions, because I just felt like it was invasive, do you know, the sort of way that I'd have to, you know, commit to, I don't know, like you'd have to have scheduled appointments like every 6 weeks, or some of them are every 6 months, which actually isn't that bad at all. But I was just like, oh, if I just do tablets, I'm just taking that at home, do you know, that sort of way. But yeah, I just kind of, I think now I probably would have went in hell for leather, and yeah, just went with the infusions if it was offered, but it wasn't. Anyways, it's not that big a deal, because she was like, if I hadn't started my treatment, she would have either recommended the tablets or the infusions, because obviously they're more effective. But she wants to keep like a really close eye on me, because she's like, it is like 2 attacks in 1 year, but it's not even 1 year, it was 2 attacks in the space of like 3 months. So that's pretty fucking active. Like, some people with MS would have their first attack, but they won't even know it's a relapse. They might get like pins and needles or a bit of numbness on an arm or a limb or something like that, and it just passes after a while and they don't think anything of it. And then they might have their next relapse in fucking 5-10 years, do you know, that sort of way. Now, there could be a lot of damage going on in the background, because you have a lot of lesions that are silent and they don't cause side effects, or like symptoms, sorry. So in that sense, it's not great, because you could have like fucking 20-40 lesions on your brain and on your spinal cord and you don't know. But yeah, anyways, she wants to keep an eye on me, just because she is kind of like, it is active, and we need to make sure that, you know, I'm getting the right treatment, etc, etc. So if there is any sort of a change when I go for my scans in March, like straight away I'll be put onto the infusions. And like, to be fair to her, she's like, I'll have very low tolerance if you don't want to move up onto the infusions. And I was like, that is totally fine, like completely understand. Because to be honest, like, I just want what's best for me, do you know, that sort of way. I don't want this to progress to a stage of permanent physical disability, do you know, that sort of way. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at the moment. So I have a new consultant. Treatment so far so good. I haven't felt any physical symptoms or any, I haven't had any relapse. So the main kind of thing is I was very tired. I'm kind of coming back around a bit now, but Jesus, the fatigue from it was something awful. That's kind of the more prolonged side effect, I guess. But yeah, I guess to give like an update of where I am in terms of like, do I have any symptoms at all now? So I don't have any. Excuse me, I think my dog is doing something. Sorry, she just wanted to go to the toilet. Here she goes. She's so loud. Hello, baby. You alright? You're out of breath. Yeah, so I don't have pins and needles, I don't have numbness, I don't have loss of balance, I don't have any issues with my eyes, anything like that. But I am okay, I am fatigued. It's definitely getting better, do you know, that sort of way, and it comes in waves, and it's really hard to know if the fatigue is caused, it's just because I have MS, if it's because of my treatment, if it's because I've done too much, because every day is different. Like, I can wake up and I feel amazing. So the last 3 days I felt so energized. I've done so much. it feels great. And now I'm going on my holidays, and yeah, so I'm feeling unreal. But then there's days, yeah, where I'm just fucking no energy. Oh, she's lying on the floor, God love her. No energy, just feeling fucking miserable in myself. Like, your mood changes completely. But maybe, I don't know if that's like just a thing where I'm gonna have like a week or two where I feel shit and then I feel great. So I don't know, it's too fresh to fully understand what's temporary and what's kind of permanent. And then the other thing is I can't get my words. Like, I have a lot of like long pauses, or just literally cannot get the word out my mouth, or I can't find the word. And it could be like a basic word, do you know, that sort of way, something I'm using all the time, but I just can't get it out. Fucking, sorry, I was just looking at someone. It's just really fucking annoying. Like, it's grand if I'm with friends or whatever, but it's just, yeah, it's like brain fog, do you know what I mean? It's just, if you're with people that you don't know, or like, yeah, I don't know, it's just like embarrassing, do you know, that sort of way. That would be, I think, my biggest symptom at the moment, just not being able to like get words out of my mouth. And then it makes me anxious, and then because I'm anxious it makes it worse. It's just really fucking annoying. But sure, look, it could be worse, and maybe it'll pass, do you know, that sort of way. Maybe I'm just really anxious about the whole situation, so have to stay hopeful, because if we don't have hope, we're fucked. But yeah, like, that's kind of it. Like, I just wanted to do a short video of where I'm at. I'm still on my treatment. So far I feel like it's going well, but we obviously do not know unless we see the scan, and I'll have to do a scan every year after. But she might do, I think my consultant might do me every 6 months, just to keep an eye on me, maybe initially, I'm not sure. So we shall see. And yeah, they're my main symptoms, and I'm going on my first holiday. Why can't I say that word? My first holiday since pre-COVID, so that's kind of exciting. I have had people message me being like, you know, is the treatment working, or how are you getting on and stuff, so all good, I guess. As good as it can be, maybe, I'm not sure. Sorry baby, do you want to get up on the bed? Come on, up you get. Up. Up, 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 up. Now, do you want to say hello to everybody? Oh dear, good job, huh? Are you minding me? This is Nurse Nala. She looks after me when I'm unwell. Oh, that actually reminds me. So, well, I took one of my tablets for my treatment. You have to take it with food. It has to be high in fat, high in protein, and I had never not done that. I had never not done that. I had always eaten fat and protein before I took my tablet. So last week, one of the days, I actually only had like a bit of cauliflower and a few chips. Sorry, that sounds rotten, but it was like cauliflower wings. It had all like sauce on it and all, but literally I had a handful. It was not enough. Anyway, so I took my treatment anyways, and I went to bed, and oh my god, I was like, first of all I started profusely sweating, then I was like jittery. It was like I had way too many coffees, and the fucking hunger was just ravenous. No, what's that word? Ravened? Oh, I don't know. Anyways, I was fucking starving. I actually, though, I couldn't get out of my bed to go. I literally was like, right, I'll just have a slice of toast because it's easy, because I was going to bed, like I was in work the next day, but I didn't have the energy to get out of my bed. Like, I was so weak and I was so shaky and so jittery, so I had to get Eve to get me some toast, and I literally wolfed it. Like, I've never felt hunger like that in my life. It was like I had drank all those coffees and also hadn't eaten. I was just shaking and I felt empty. So I will never be doing that again. And lesson learnt. And to be honest, like, I knew you weren't not supposed to eat. I knew you weren't. Why do I keep using double negatives? They're making me confused. I knew you had to I knew you had to eat high in fat and high in protein, but I just, because they say like it can cause like really, really bad gastro issues. I didn't feel any of that. I just felt empty. It was like something was eating me from the inside. Anyways, it was grand. I had my slice of toast and fell asleep and I was perfect. But just a little FYI, that's what happens when you don't eat high in fat and high in protein. Anyways, I'm off. That's all. I hope you enjoyed the update. And I'm going on my holidays. So prepare, look a little now. Prepare to see some Lisbon content. Oh yes, so one other thing that I didn't mention that I wanted to mention was that I have to get bloods done every 3 months while I'm on this treatment. The reason for that is because they need to keep an eye on your, I think it's your lymphocytes, because, and this is the worst side effect that can happen while on this drug. So if your lymphocytes drop to a certain level, it can activate the JC virus. So we all come in contact with the JC virus. Well, like 80% of us do as kids, but we're grand. Do you know, that sort of way when you have a fully functioning immune system, it's not a big deal. But it remains dormant in your central nervous system. So if that activates, it causes PML. Now that stands for something crazy long, and I'm not going to say because it's all like mad scientific words, but essentially it's fatal, and you would have literally a life expectancy of 6 months to 2 years. It causes like severe physical disability. So that kind of scared the shit out of me when I figured that out. But if they do the blood, sorry, that was very uncomfortable. If they do the bloods every 3 months, they can keep an eye on your lymphocytes, and obviously they'd have certain thresholds or criteria that if it dropped to a certain level that, I don't know, I presume they'd take you off it or whatever. But my Tecfidera nurse said that in his whole career as a Tecfidera nurse and all the Tecfidera patients that he would have, he's never ever come in contact with it, or like never heard of it. But you obviously just need to be made aware of it. But it's fucking mad to think that that is a potential. And like, it's weird because the occurrence is like 1 in 500 or 1 in 1,000. That's not a rare side effect. I'm sorry, that's not rare. Rare is like 100,000 or like 500,000. But 500 or 1,000, that's not rare. I don't think it's rare. But anyways, it's good that no one in Ireland that my Tecfidera nurse has dealt with has never come across it. But just a little something to be aware of. But yeah, so I'll be doing those bloods in December. Fingers crossed. So I'm gonna go again. But I'm sorry to end the video on that. That's kind of scary. But you know, it's a rare one. So we'll see how I get on. Right, talk to you later.